I have a quick day trading quiz for you. And really, if you're a swing trader investor, this would still pertain to you. And it's a quiz that I just want to throw at you and just be honest with your answer. And it'll help kind of gauge your perspective of trading of the markets and whether or not it's the right perspective or the wrong. And if, hey, it's the wrong, that's all right. At least now you're going to know that it's wrong and you're going to know to start to shift your area and focus to what actually matters as traders. But before we get to the quiz, real quick, if you're interested in a shirt, then go to claytrader.com/gear and you can get these shirts. I've been told that I'm supposed to start to talk about the shirts in the videos. So there we go. If you want one, go to that link and you'll see we have all sorts of sizes there for you. Now, as far as the quiz, what I'm gonna do here is I wanna show you an image, and like I said, we'll put up on the screen right now. And as you're looking at this image, just kind of think, what are your impressions? And I don't wanna just make this a flash show. Image still on the screen. I want you to be looking at it right now and just asking, okay, what are your thoughts? What sort of things are going through your mind? And I think I've stalled long enough. You've formulated some sort of idea in your mind. So we'll take down the image now. And all right. So the question comes down to this. As you're looking at that image, and again, be honest, I'm not trying to trick anybody. Did you think that's it? I mean, you look at those results and I mean, wow, that's a lot of trading days. That person didn't even hit $1,000. I mean, that's it. That's all they've made. Was that? I mean, I saw such and such on Instagram or TikTok or whatever, and then I mean, they made over $1,000 in one single trade, and this person had multiple days, multiple weeks. That's all they made. They didn't even get to $1,000. Is that what you were thinking, or were you thinking something like this? Thinking, wow, that is a lot of green days. That's pretty consistent. I mean, green, 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 green. I mean, a whole lot. Wow, okay. So in other words, you weren't really paying attention to the size of those numbers. You were just looking at the fact that that was a whole lot of green and a whole lot of green right in a row. And the right answer to this would, hopefully you see, be that right there. Why? Because of this right here, consistent. The job of a trader is to be consistent. Now, I don't want to mislead because I realize I picked an example where it's just all green. So I'm not suggesting that you need to always be green and that's what my definition of consistent is to always be green. I'm not suggesting that. I'm just suggesting that there is very clearly consistency in, I'm going to say student because this is a student of my program, but within this student's results. Very clearly consistency. But again, does it have to always be green in order to be considered consistent? Absolutely not. But it does also show in kind of a little side rabbit hole, but just very quickly, have you heard it? Hey, all traders, you're just a gambler. The stock market, the crypto market, any market, that's just all gambling. Really? If it was all gambling, would it be possible to get all those green days in a row? Now, yes, mathematically speaking, sure, it is possible. But is it likely? Absolutely not. If it was gambling, if it was just kind of a 50-50 chance, then you would expect some green, green, red. You would expect some red days to be mixed in there just because, okay, if it's just gambling and random, that's like the worst casino ever if they're allowing somebody to walk in and get that amount of green days right in a row. So as a side note, those results show that, yeah, trading is not gambling, assuming you have a strategy. But that, again, brings the question to, okay, but how do you know you have a strategy? And that brings us full circle to, well, are you getting consistent results? And I'm not a hater. I'm not trying to be, a Debbie Downer right on anybody's parade. But if you've made 3 trades in your entire career and you've made a whole bunch of money, that doesn't mean that you're consistent. That means you've made 3 trades, and to be fair, I don't know, maybe you're like a prodigy, maybe you have it all figured out. But 3 trades is not exactly consistent, especially like, well, I've never taken any losses. My strategy doesn't have any losses in it. Since I've started, I've never had a losing trade. I've never had a losing day. Okay, that's a major red flag because all traders should have losses. Because if you don't have losses, that means either you haven't taken enough trades or you're probably just doing a whole lot of holding and hoping and waiting for the price to go in your favor, which it has been doing so far. But all it takes is that one situation where it doesn't, and then you're looking at a much nastier situation. But to bring this back, what is the right perspective? Like I said, it's all about consistency. Because what is the power in consistency? Well, you look at that student's numbers, and yeah, the size of them was not big. However, when you can get consistent, well, then you can start to raise position size, use more money. And because it's consistent at the ground level, those numbers can get bigger and bigger and bigger over time. However, if you're just out there wheeling and dealing, going big or going home, yes, you can have really big numbers from the start. However, keeping those big numbers, holding onto those gains, that is where the true challenge comes from as traders. It's not making the money, because a blind drunk monkey can make money in the market. But hanging onto those gains, that is the true measure of whether or not you're going to be successful. And as this member showed, they've done a good job of not only making money, but also not just giving it all away in a single trade with some good, consistent results. So as a trader, what do you need to be focused on? What is the primary goal? What is the primary area that's going to bring you success? You got to be focused on the consistency. I understand it's hard. I suffer from it too. I've been trading since 2006. My channel's been around since 2013. And I fully admit that, yeah, it is hard. It is distracting to look around social media and see other people, see the size of their numbers and being like, wow, I must be doing something wrong. Or what I'm doing is not impressive because look at that big number. And it's not about impressive, meaning, well, it is about impressive, but the impressiveness should not be coming from the size of the numbers. The impressiveness should be coming from consistency because, again, consistency is scalable. Just because it's small numbers now, if it's consistent, then you can increase that over time by using more and more money in a very, slow, methodical way. So hopefully you did okay on the quiz. Even if you didn't, that is okay. You now hopefully have an idea of where you need to be focused on. So I get it. It's fun to be looking at the huge, massive numbers, but don't use those as a baseline for success because as a beginner, as somebody that's just getting started, you need to be focused on consistency. So if you found this video helpful, if you would like me to make more videos like this, then please hit that like button, leave a comment down below. Again, if you're interested in a t-shirt, just go to claytrader.com/gear. And if you have any questions or anything like that, as always, leave those down in the comment section below. Thanks for hanging out. First off, thanks so much for watching the entire video. Real quick, before you go, I want to invite you to a live webinar, web class, training, workshop, online event, whatever you want to call it, but it will be me live revealing to you what I've discovered that has allowed me to transform myself from being an employee to being my own boss, including how I had only one losing day out of 73 days in total. I'm going to cover 3 keys that have helped me unlock profitable consistency within the markets. The first key is super weird, but in a productive type of way. The second key is super awesome because it quite literally is wired into our DNA as humans, making it very easy to use. But in a cruel way, this becomes a pitfall for many traders. I'll explain it all though, including how to avoid the pitfall that it creates for some. And yeah, the third key, when you hear it, sounds way too good to be true, but it's not, and I'll show you how it all works. Then at the end, I open it up for a question and answer session that is, again, totally live. Even if you can't make the live session, please still sign up as it will be recorded, and you can go back and watch the replay that I will send you. Click the image on the screen or click the link down in the description box so you can get the date and time and claim your spot, which I should note is limited due to the fact that this truly is a live event. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, I'll be seeing you soon.